Wonderful. So our next speaker is Dr. James Leong. Very few can claim to make finance fun, but our next speaker truly does. A chartered accountant, adjunct professor at NUS, National University of Singapore, and creator of the groundbreaking financial storyverse, he transforms finance into stories that are clear, engaging, and unforgettable. He's a certified speaking professional, CSP, the author of Once Upon a Balance Sheet, with Big Four experience and a track record as regional head of finance for a Fortune 500 company, having inspired audiences across Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. And with a rare ability to see humor in numbers, he makes finance not only understandable, but surprisingly enjoyable. Let's welcome Professor James Leong.
Thank you, Anne. Okay, a very good morning to everyone. So please say hi into the chat with me and to one another as well. Let's make this an interactive session. Hello, Diana. Hi, Himi. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Francis. Hello. Hi. Thanks, Dane. Thanks, Maximus. Now, if you'd like us to have a wonderful and participative time together, please say A into agreement. So I've got your agreement that we will make this as fun and as engaging as we can. Shall we? Let's give me the letter A for your permission to go ahead. All right, thank you. So quick introduction of myself. Thanks, Anne, for that, but this is something personal. People know me as James. This is my family name, Leong. I'm a Cantonese. My short middle name is the letter C. My last name is pronounced F-O-O as Fu. So whenever I gave my name card to people, people would politely call out my name and they say, Leong, C Fu. And it sounds exactly like this guy here, Master C Fu, Kung Fu Panda. So if you like, call me Leong C Fu. Otherwise, I'll be happy to answer to James as well. So once upon a balance sheet, the numbers are telling a story. Let me know if you agree that numbers do tell the story. If you agree, please key in the letter S. Yes, thank you. So some numbers tell a happy story, some numbers tell the sad stories, and some numbers tell a horror story, especially when you look into the cash flow of the business. So my mission, whether it's through my work with leaders or through my book or consultancy, is to help leaders to build a transformative advantage by unlocking one of the most overlooked levers of sustainable growth, and not by chasing the latest trend or by cutting costs till it hurts, but through financial learning. Now, question, how well does everyone in your organization know about how money works in your organization? So V for very well, S for somewhat, or B could be better. What's your response? V, S, or B? Very well, somewhat, or could be better? Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Anne. Yes. So this is one of the challenges that in my work with a lot of organizations, this is what they share with me. Now, if your team doesn't know how money works, then they will not have an understanding of what really drives business. And if they do not really understand what drives business, then it will limit their understanding to create an impact for the organization. Teams that understand how money works, for example, your ops team. They will be able to spot what is waste on the ground, eliminate waste. They will be able to find out how they could save money on a day-to-day basis. And for example, if you have your salespeople, now if they do not understand how sales work, or they don't understand how margins work, then potentially this could lead to chasing a volume at a loss instead of protecting profit. So this is what I mean by a transformative financial advantage. When everyone in your organization are better able to align their actions and their decisions with the overall financial goals of the company. Now, here's what I've realized is the challenge. A lot of organizations try to solve that by sending their teams to workshops. Now, question here is that if you ever attended, so what do they learn in workshops? Typically, they learn to read a few reports, calculate some ratios, and if you are lucky, you might even be able to catch a nap. Let me know if you have ever stepped through a finance workshop. If you have, key in the letter Z, please. Yes. And so that is, to me, really scratching just the surface. Thank you for the participation. So the question here is, do you want to stay at the surface or do you want to go deep? So if you're like me and you want to go deep, let's key in deep in the chat. Let me know if you'd like to go deeper on this. Thank you. Now, what do I mean by deep? This is where the real transformation happens, not just by obtaining some new information, but really about helping people to build three things with financial learning. Number one, how do you achieve superior performance for the organization? How do you achieve cash flow resilience? And how do you build a team with empowered ownership? Now, the idea here is it's not about just teaching knowledge. It's about helping people to internalize. It's about helping people to shift their mindset, and it's about helping people to think like a business owner. So this is where we shift from just information, we go deep to transformation to obtain a transformative financial advantage through financial learning. Thank you, Diana. Yes. So let's talk about what do you mean by empowered ownership? What do owners do? Think about it. What do you think owners do? Let's key that into a chat. What do owners do? If you think like an owner, what do you do? Owner will not say, this is not my problem. This is a finance problem. That's correct. Yes, owners care for progress and bottom line. Owners will ask, how will my actions impact margins? How will my decisions affect cash flow? And how can I contribute to the future sustainability of my organization? Now, if this resonates with you, that you think that these are very important questions or mindset that you want your people to have, please key in the letter O for ownership. Let me know if that resonates with you. Thank you, Francis. So this is my belief. I believe that Every results-focused leader deserves a transformative financial advantage. Now, from the thousands of businesses that I have analyzed over the course of my professional career, there are 4 stages that a company or a business might find themselves in. So first, they could be in the survival stage. Now, what is survival stage? Survival is where cash flow is tight, margins are thin. And now, if you find yourself here, it is not your fault. Why is that so? Because business is challenging, costs are rising, competition is fierce. Now, if you can resonate with that, please key in the letter C, that you agree that business is challenging, especially in today's environment. Yes. So that's survival. Now, some organizations find themselves at the next level, and that is striving. What is striving? Striving is like taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back, very much like on a financial treadmill. Lots of action, lots of movements, there's some momentum, but practically going nowhere, right? So also a very tough place to be. Some organizations found themselves to be at the next stage, which is stable. Now, stable sounds like good because stable could mean that your business appear to be cruising. But unfortunately, stable also happen to be one of the most dangerous, risky place to be. Why is that so? Let me know if you ever own a Nokia phone. If you ever own a Nokia phone, please key in N for the nostalgia of a Nokia. That is correct. So this is the place where organizations will likely fall into complacency, right? People are saying there's no crisis, then why should I change? Now, the same story happens to Nokia, the same story happens to BlackBerry, the same story happens to Kodak as well. And very few organizations found themselves at this stage, which is the soaring stage. Now, this is where the exponential leverage, where there's cash surplus, growth multiplies. So if you look at the market leaders today, the NVIDIA, the Facebook or Meta, the Google, and the Microsoft. Now, if you want your organizations or your business to be soaring, please key in the letter S for soaring. Let me know if this is something that resonates with you. Yes, thank you. So thank you, Kelly. So there are 2 paths that every business will take. This is the present as we speak right now. And this is the future timeline. Now, it might look like going to the future is a straight path, but business is never a straight path. There are ups and downs, and potentially more downs than up. So business never stays static, right? So we have seen the examples of Nokia, who used to own 40% of the global phone business. Eventually, they sold the phone business to Microsoft, and the business, even Microsoft wrote off the entire investment of $7.6 billion in a few years. So business never stays static. Now, if you agree that business never stays static, please key in X for that. Business stable doesn't stay stable. Yes. So, or you could, so that's not a way up. Or you could go into this path, which is drifting. Now, this is very dangerous. Why? Because organizations do not wake up one day and say, let's decline. It is a missed opportunity here, a wrong investment there, an extra order of inventory in the warehouse, draining of your cash, doing nothing, a debtor slow to pay, or a project making loss, and together they compound. And then you find your financial position going into decline. The green path is different. The green path is where you advance. And the destination of advance is growth. However, there is a twist. There is another path, the dotted path, the accelerated path. With the right financial learning, we help organizations to shift and take the accelerated path to superior performance, cash flow resilience, and empowered ownership. So how do we do that, right? So how do we do that? So I'm going to share with you an overview of the framework that I use. I'm not going to go deep in here, but essentially they are, if you think of a transformative financial advantage, there are three outcomes: superior performance, cash flow resilience, and power ownership. And there are three levers that do that. Strategic engagement, to move people from silo to synergy. Being financially impactful, to move people from confusion to confidence. And emotional investment, to move people from indifference. So my friends, my esteemed friends, have talked about people being disengaged. Gen Z, they have to connect with the Gen Z. How do you do that? We need to move them from indifference to initiative. And altogether, there are 9 different accelerators that we use to help our clients to achieve the accelerated path. So this is my framework to help you as leaders to achieve the accelerated path of performance, resilience, and ownership. But I also know that leaders needed a resource that they could always go back to time and again to make financial learning stick. So that's the reason why I wrote my book, to help leaders like you unlock one of the most overlooked sources of sustainable growth, or levers of sustainable growth through financial learning. So my book pedagogy is simple. It is story-led because stories make learning sticky. It's story first. It's character-led because character makes finance come alive. It's learner-centric because it is built for anyone, even without a finance background, to follow along. So I've created the financial storyverse, which is the world that my book lives in. And these are the characters that I've created. Count, Jargon, and Friends. Count, Jargon, they all come with their own superpowers. Count, Jargon convert jargon to joy. Miss Numbers turn numbers into narratives. And Steph, the model, turn confusion into clarity. And Master C Foo, through his wisdom, turns figures into foresight. And this character here, Huat, I believe he needs no introduction because every Chinese New Year we'll call his name. His superpower is to turn a common expression when people have to deal with finance of into Huala, transforming perplexity into prosperity. So the financial storyverse is probably the happiest place you can learn finance. So I make learning stick through visual metaphors, simple, powerful images that anchor down learning for you way long after you put down the book. I'm deeply honored to have received endorsements for leaders across different industries, different sectors, and this reflects a need for a book like this and the impact that it brings. Miss Numbers understand the challenge that people face, the learning barriers that people face when learning finance. So therefore, her role in the book is to make knowledge acquisition enjoyable by breaking down those barriers. By staying true to our tagline, we make finance seriously fun. So once upon a balance sheet is a resource you can count on to help leaders like you build a financially impactful team and culture. So that we shift from information, we go deep into transformation. So if you only remember one thing, your numbers are already telling a story. Would it be a story of decline, or would it be a story of growth? So you could take the red path to drift, or you could take the green path to advance, or you could take the dotted path to accelerate. So this is the path of acceleration to superior performance, cash flow resilience, and empowered ownership. And it's also the path that I have built into my work with leaders, and the path that I've written into Once Upon a Balance Sheet. So if this resonates with you, so please connect with me. I'll be happy to be your partner to build a financially impactful team and culture and help your organization build and achieve and attain a transformative financial advantage. Thank you for your attention.